Grab your tiles, design your board, and be prepared for everything to flip upside down, because it's time to take on the grid. This is a game about squares, or rather, conquering squares by covering them with your color. When all the spaces on the board are filled, have more of your colored tiles showing than your opponent. It's that simple, only it's not. Setup. Pick your color and choose your grid. For beginners, we recommend starting out on the basic 6x6. After you've gotten a sense of how things work, then feel free to add on by setting out any combination of the other 5 segments along the edges of the grid. When the board is just the way you like it, let the game begin. On the first turn, both players are able to set a tile anywhere they like. After this, tiles can only be placed on squares marked with a plus sign or on those directly alongside an opposing player's tile. Every tile of the opposite color that shares an edge with the tile you just played must be flipped over. For example, playing a white tile here flips the bronze one beside it. Likewise, there are 2 white tiles adjacent to this spot, so playing a bronze tile here will flip both of them. Getting 2 flips on a turn is pretty nice, but it's nothing in comparison to the chaos you can create through a chain reaction. You see the squares with the grid logo? Whenever these spots have a tile added or flipped on top of them, they spark a mass turnover. Every tile of the other color that can be linked by its edge to this square must be flipped over. The only limits to this are sector boundaries, marked by the dark gray lines running through the board. So, when white claims this square, it not only flips the bronze tile next door, but every bronze tile in the sector that can be traced by an edge back to the original square. It seems like a devastating blow for bronze, but the game isn't finished yet. In fact, there's even a way bronze can force white into losing the sector for good. To push white to play in a specific position, bronze must first completely surround the desired square. Surrounding works like this. When all 4 edges adjacent to any board location are filled, the next player is forced to put a tile there. In this particular scenario, there are 2 locations where bronze has caused this to happen, here and here. White must occupy one of these spots. In doing so, it opens the door for bronze to capture the sector. Play continues until there are no spaces remaining. When every location is full, count up the tiles, and the player with more of their own facing up is proclaimed the winner. Of course, right before this happens is usually when things get the most crazy. Sectors will pass from one hand to another, and the landscape of the grid may just totally be transformed.